Have you ever really stopped and asked yourself what love can actually do for you in the real world? Because while love might fill your heart, it doesn't fill your pantry. It doesn't pay rent, cover medical bills, or fix the car that suddenly breaks down. And yet we keep thinking it will. We convince ourselves that as long as we love each other, everything else will fall into place. But life doesn't work like that. The truth is, love is powerful, transformative, and magical. But it is not enough on its own to sustain the practical realities of life. And that's what most people don't talk about. They romanticize love as if it's a solution for everything, when in reality, love can sometimes blind us to the things we most need: stability, fairness, and partnership. Let me give you a real example. A man named Eric had been in a relationship with Laura for 4 years. He was affectionate, charming, and emotionally available. But when it came to financial responsibility, he struggled. Laura was working 2 jobs just to keep the apartment running, while Eric spent his earnings on gadgets, nights out, and hobbies, telling Laura, "I'll get it next month." Months turned into years. Laura loved Eric and wanted the relationship to succeed, so she kept covering for him. But the exhaustion, stress, and resentment built up quietly, like a pressure cooker ready to explode. One evening, she confronted him. "Eric, I can't keep doing this," she said, her voice trembling. "I feel like I'm carrying everything, our bills, our life, everything. Love isn't enough if it leaves one person drowning." Eric looked stunned, "But we love each other. Isn't that what matters?" Laura shook her head. "Love is important, yes, but it doesn't pay for rent, groceries, or therapy when we're both stressed out. We need partnership, real partnership. And right now, I feel alone. This is the moment when reality hits. Love alone is not a safety net. It does not shield us from the practical pressures of life, and pretending it does only leads to frustration, resentment, and eventual burnout. Yet so many people stay in these situations because the emotional attachment is strong, because they fear being alone, or because they've been conditioned to believe that love conquers all. And that's where dependency comes in. Emotional and financial dependency often masquerades as love. When you rely on someone else to cover your needs, be it security, comfort, or financial stability, the lines blur. What you feel is no longer pure love, it's fear. Fear of instability, fear of being left behind, fear of stepping into the unknown. And fear can make us tolerate imbalance, accept neglect, or give more than we should, thinking that's what love requires. But in reality, it's not love, it's survival. And confusing survival for love is one of the most dangerous traps in relationships. Let me ask you a direct question. Have you ever been in a relationship where the love felt real, but the stress of daily life, finances, or emotional imbalance made you question if it was enough? Write your answer in the comments, because I promise you, many of us have been there, and acknowledging this reality is the first step to changing it. Healthy love, on the other hand, doesn't demand that one person carry all the weight. It's balanced. It's about partnership, reciprocity, and shared responsibilities. Love should lift you up, not drain you. It should empower both partners to grow together while maintaining individual identities. And yet, how often do we mistake passion for commitment or excitement for stability? We see romantic gestures and shiny words and assume that's enough to keep the relationship alive, but it isn't. Consider the story of Mia and Daniel. They had been dating for 6 years. Daniel was attentive, affectionate, and always said the right things. But when it came to practical matters, he was absent. Bills went unpaid, deadlines were missed, and Mia carried the burden of making sure their life ran smoothly. One night, exhausted and frustrated, Mia confronted Daniel. "Daniel, I love you, but I can't do this alone anymore. I feel like I'm carrying not just myself, but you in our relationship too." Daniel paused. "I thought love was enough. I didn't realize I was failing you." "That's just it," Mia replied. "Love alone isn't enough. I need action. I need partnership. I need to know that we're in this together. And this is the lesson. Love is not a magical fix for real-life challenges. It doesn't pay bills, it doesn't balance your emotional energy, and it doesn't automatically create equality. But when combined with honesty, responsibility, and partnership, it becomes something much more powerful. Love plus effort equals sustainability. Love alone is fragile. Let's talk about the day-to-day reality of this. How many relationships have you seen where one partner constantly sacrifices sleep, time, and energy to keep things running, while the other enjoys the benefits without contributing equally? How many times have you or someone you know postponed your own dreams to accommodate a partner who doesn't take responsibility? These are subtle but powerful examples of imbalance that can erode even the strongest feelings. And here's another thing. Love is not just about finances. It's about energy, presence, respect, and emotional labor. If you find yourself constantly giving more than you receive, it's time to reassess. Relationships thrive on balance. They thrive when both partners feel seen, supported, and valued. Love should never feel like a burden. If it does, it's not failing. It's sending you a signal. Imagine Rachel and Tom, a married couple for 8 years. Rachel worked full-time while also managing the household. Tom had a flexible job but often prioritized leisure over contributing to the home or finances. Rachel loved Tom deeply, but exhaustion and frustration were affecting her mental health. One evening, she asked him to sit down. "Tom, I love you, but this isn't sustainable. I'm tired of being the only one managing everything. We need a plan. We need to share responsibilities and communicate better." Tom initially felt defensive. "I thought love was enough to get us through anything." Rachel shook her head. "Love is a foundation, yes, but foundations alone don't build a house. We need to act together, or we'll collapse through open dialogue, shared planning, and mutual effort." They transformed their relationship. Love didn't change magically, but their actions did. That's the difference between surviving and thriving in love. Let's reflect on this. How many of us accept imbalance thinking love will fix it? How often do we overlook practical realities, assuming emotional intensity is sufficient? Life is complex. Relationships are complex. And love, no matter how deep, needs the support of partnership, responsibility, and communication. Without that, even the most passionate love stories can falter. Now think about your own life. Ask yourself, am I truly in a balanced relationship? Am I respected, supported, and valued? Or am I carrying the weight alone, blinded by emotions, habits, or fear of being alone? The answer may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Love is supposed to lift you, to inspire you, to help you grow. But it should never drain you, isolate you, or compromise your well-being. If it does, it's time to act. Set boundaries, communicate your needs, demand partnership, protect your mental, emotional, and financial health. Because love is beautiful, but love alone does not pay bills. Courage, awareness, and balance do. Consider the story of Emily and Jason. They had been together for nearly 5 years. Emily loved Jason deeply, but Jason had a habit of spending impulsively, leaving Emily to manage their household expenses. Every month, Emily would ask him, "Jason, can we go over the bills together?" He would nod, promise to be more responsible. But nothing changed. One night, frustrated and exhausted, Emily confronted him. "Jason, I feel like I'm carrying everything on my own. Love is not enough to make this work. I need your help." Jason sighed. "I know, Emily. I thought our love would be enough." Emily looked him straight in the eyes. "Love is important, but it doesn't pay the electricity bill or buy groceries. Actions matter, Jason. Partnership matters." This moment was a turning point. Jason realized that love without effort was meaningless. Together, they created a budget, divided responsibilities, and set realistic expectations. Their relationship didn't suddenly become perfect, but it became sustainable. Love alone hadn't fixed everything, but combined with responsibility, communication, and shared effort, it thrived. And this is what so many people fail to understand. Love can inspire, heal, and comfort, but it does not sustain life on its own. If you are constantly giving, sacrificing, or compromising your well-being for the sake of love, It's time to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, am I being seen? Am I being supported? Am I growing, or am I simply surviving? Now let's explore a different scenario. Imagine a couple, Mark and Vanessa. They loved each other intensely, but their schedules were chaotic. Vanessa worked long hours while Mark's freelance income was unpredictable. Bills were piling up. Arguments erupted over money, and stress overshadowed intimacy. One evening, Vanessa said, "Mark, I love you, but we can't keep going like this. We're arguing all the time, and it's not healthy." Mark hesitated. "I thought our love would be enough to get us through anything." Vanessa replied, "Love alone doesn't cover rent or bills. Love alone doesn't calm anxiety. Love is not a magic solution. We need a plan, responsibilities, and balance." From that night on, they created a system: shared budgeting, a weekly planning session, and open discussions about finances and emotions. Their love remained, but it became grounded in reality, strengthened by shared action. And that's the lesson. Love without accountability is fragile. It may feel powerful in moments, but without shared responsibility, it cannot endure life's challenges. The romantic ideal that love alone is enough is dangerous. It convinces people to endure imbalance, to accept neglect, and to sacrifice their well-being in the name of feelings. Now I want you to reflect. How often have you tolerated imbalance in the name of love? How often have you ignored practical realities, thinking passion would make everything okay? These are important questions because recognizing the truth is the first step to creating healthy, sustainable relationships. Think about your own life. Observe your relationship closely. Notice the small things, the division of chores, who handles the bills, who takes care of emotional labor, who supports whom. Ask yourself, am I receiving as much as I give? Do I feel valued and respected? Am I growing, or am I simply surviving in this relationship? Love should lift you, not drain you. It should inspire you to be your best self, not leave you exhausted and frustrated. If love feels like a burden, it's not failing, it's sending you a signal. It's time to act. Communicate your needs. Set boundaries. Share responsibilities. Demand equality. Because love alone will never carry you through life. And here's the final reflection. Love is amazing, magical, and transformative, but only when combined with responsibility, partnership, and action. Courage, awareness, and honesty are what make love sustainable. Without these, even the deepest feelings can become a source of stress, frustration, and disappointment. So here's my challenge to you. Take a close look at your relationship. Talk openly with your partner. Create a system for shared responsibilities. Protect your mental, emotional, and financial well-being. And remember, love is meant to enhance life, not weigh it down. Finally, share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. Comment your experiences. Reflect. Take action today. Love can change lives, but love alone doesn't pay bills. Partnership, responsibility, and awareness do. And those are the tools that build relationships that are truly healthy, happy, and lasting.